Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to City Skylines Mass Transit. We're just seeing Nicholson Farm here. It's expanded ever so slightly, just pushed those roads up just a little bit higher, zoned in a little bit more just at the top section here, and I've left a space here. I've actually zoned these two blocks just here as residential, so that there is space for a farmhouse to go in there, so that when we do get a residential demand, hopefully we can get a couple of residential workers in there. And as such, I have set the district in there, the district policy to be, worker, schools out policy over there. I have made a couple of other little changes as well. Obviously, we've upgraded this road here, Nicholson Drive, leading into the farm. I've actually turned it into a sort of a standard road with trees alongside, and then as it gets to the farm itself, that's when it splits into dirt roads, just to help ease the traffic in there a little bit better. I've also renamed this here as Scotter Square. This was a request from Florian Grotz. Wanted a residential district named Scotter Square for a close friend of his, so that's been done there. I have also put in here Quintanilla Boulevard for one of my good subscribers that comments very regularly on my videos. I felt it was kind of something that needed to be done there. So for David, he wanted just a DQ Boulevard, but I've actually put his surname in there just to make that nice and dedicated as his main road there. And what I'm going to try and do with named roads like this is I'm going to put them in capitals so we can see at a glance that they are actually subscribed, or subscriber requests that have been fulfilled there, and they are the two additionals that I've put in so far. So we've just done a little tweaking to Nicholson Farm there. We've added in Scotter Square. Obviously we know about Binney Street. I need to put this into capitals. Let's quickly do that now. And this just makes it a little bit easier to see at a glance if a street has been allocated, as a subscriber street. So there we can see Binney Street now with the name in capitals. And what I've also done is I've started construction over here as well. So we obviously brought the road out this way and then tweaked it a little bit and put this roundabout in. And I didn't really do much else over here. But what I have now done is I've kind of gone ahead and zoned in a whole load of roads to kind of fill this block just here. As you can see, we've got a little roundabout here. I can get rid of these little connecting pieces now, and I want to really try out this and see how it works as a standard kind of split road here. So I'm actually going to take that junction out there, and I'm probably going to add it in just here instead. I don't know, that does flow quite nicely into there. Let's just leave it in there for now. And so we're in the build up to this junction here, you can see we've got two lanes going up to the junction, so hopefully we can kind of direct traffic a little bit better. And then same again here, so the inside lane that'll be turning against the flow of traffic will have its own separate lane. Hopefully that'll make things a little easier at this crossroads when it comes to managing traffic. And then just plenty of kind of zoned road. We don't have much in the way of demand for residential yet, but for when we do, this is going to become a nice little low density block over here. So we need to try and boost our ratings over here, because we still haven't finished filling Scotter Square over here. That still needs a bit of work. So we need to really start boosting our other zoning. So I'm going to start dropping office blocks in around here. So I'm going to take this block here, make that an office block, like that. Same over here, and we'll make that an office block, and we'll do the same over here as well. Make all of this office. Like that. Rezone that one as well, and this one as well. So we've got offices kind of surrounding the outsides a little bit like that. I've got a gap here. I forgot to rezone that. That was from when we took out the health centre. But I'm actually going to take that block out and turn that into commercial like that. And again, behind the school, we'll have some commercial there. And these blocks that kind of sit here in the middle, I'm going to make these commercial blocks to try and deal with that commercial request that we have. And hopefully by adding in some extra sort of zones around here, what it'll do is it'll then, I can get that little piece in the middle. There we go. This will help, you know, to then spur on a development in our residential roads or residential districts. We'll start to see residential growth, and immediately you can see we're getting a little bit of improvement in Scotter Square over here. We could actually drop in some parks to try and improve this area a little bit as well. Let's get a small playground. Let's drop a small playground in just there. And we kind of need a centerpiece, I think, for Scotter Square. So let's have a nice little centerpiece here. Like that. There we go. Make it a proper square. That'll really boost the land value in this section here, and hopefully we can be a little bit clever with the roads. We can possibly squeeze in a little bit more sort of zoning as well. I'm going to add in all the way around the edges here. There we go. So that area will eventually start building up, and obviously Scotter Square is going to be mainly feeding these residential zones over here. Over here, this is all going to start continuing to be upgraded into high density. But we'll work on those bits as and when we need to. There you can see there's that little residential block that I put in there, low density. You don't want a high rise in the middle of a farm, it's just going to really throw the look out. And I've tried to delete zones and let them come back in to try and vary the buildings that we have here. So you can see we've got some kind of sheds and barns here, some with small silo tanks on the sides. Over here we've got some large silos. Big barns over here, very big barns over here. But I've tried to limit the number of these really big structures, like Sunny Grain just here. Really tried to limit the number of those that popped in on the map. So that's pretty much the only one that's left now. So we do have these kind of biggish sized silo towers here that are just the silo towers. Just again, I don't want to overwhelm it. It's a farm. It's not a huge industrial park, you know. So there needs to be, you know, farm buildings, obviously, but there needs to be, you know, land as well, like these fields here, for, you know, for crops to be worked and so on and so forth. And you don't want a whole area that's just dominated by massive, great big silo buildings like this one just here. So we need to start putting in some water piping for this new area over here. Let's start over here. Try and draw this all the way down if we can. Like so. It's pretty consistent. We'll drag that out just a touch more. There we go. And then we'll step up and we'll work the same kind of line if I can. So I want the line to be sort of here. Let's drag that all the way straight down along that kind of dual carriageway there. drag that actually all the way over to here, and then we can connect it in with this pipeway here. There we go. Might be able to get rid of that piece there, actually. Yeah, that works very nice. And then it's going to be the same over here. It's just drawing these lines up to cover this whole area over here. Making sure we have nice, good water coverage. So this is what I was talking about with my desire to want to go a little bit more freeform, create something a little bit more natural, rather than just that kind of sprawling, you know, urban metropolis that you see with a lot of American cities, where it's just, you know, block after block after block of identical, you know, there's no real variance in it at all. I wanted to create something a bit more organic, a bit more natural, something that would be built up over a period of time and would change as it's being constructed, kind of thing, rather than just sticking with the stereotypical just grid system that we kind of implemented here just to get us underway. And this may well need to be tweaked, and as traffic changes. What are we getting on over here? What is going on with the traffic? Is that because these ambulances were diverting, I wonder? No, it is just naturally very busy over here. A lot of traffic just wanting to go that way. So I think what we might well need to do, this is something that's been building, I think, for a little while. Let's pause this. Let's take out that piece of road, these buildings. We're going to put in a small roundabout just here, because it is needed, I think. So it doesn't need to be huge. That's pretty much the center there, I think. So let's go curved. No, actually, I need to be straight, don't I? So that's about the center of the roundabout. I'm going to start it just here. So let's get my spacing put in place. Make it slightly bigger than a half block. I don't normally bother building the initial roundabout this way and then putting the curves in, but because I want to make sure that this roundabout has that structural integrity, because I am going to start messing around with the curves of the roads approaching in, I want to make sure that everything is nice and secure, and I don't want that roundabout to suddenly distort and change shape. There we go. So I'm going to dezone this ever so slightly. Just take that away, that block, like that. So those buildings, they will probably disappear and then come back up one row shorter. This junction is going to need to change. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to build a little bridge that goes over that now. We'll put that back in a second. That's going to stay exactly the same as it was. There's no need to change that. Keep that nice and simple there. This is where it gets a little bit more complicated. Trying to curve these around. You can see it's really fighting against me here. I might need to take that back a little bit more. I am. I'll take it to about there, and then try and curve it from there, perhaps. Yeah, that's a little bit better. And let's do the same here. It's the wrong road type at the moment, but that's fine. We can deal with that as and when we need to. That's better. And we're going to need to do the same over here as well. Bring the road to about there, and then curve that. If it will curve, I'm still a little bit too close. Go to there. Alright, let's try taking that piece out and see if that helps. I'm wary. Yeah, there you go. You see, there's the distortion that I was telling you about. If you don't have that cross piece in, it really does bend the shape of the roundabout. And you end up with a not round roundabout. Although, thinking about it, it might actually work out beneficially if I can get the road to come off at the right angle over here. Kind of works as a sort of a bypass loop, then you get this strange distortion, but then that flows a little bit smoother. Yeah, it would work if we didn't have that connection just there as well. So let's take that back out. So now I have to take that whole section out there like that, because I've got to rebuild our roundabout. There we go. So I have to bend this back round again. This is where it gets frustrating. Because it tries to curve the road, which I don't want it to do. Space already occupied. Let's take these out. I don't think that's the problem. I think it's the actual road itself. Yeah, it is. It's so frustrating trying to do this. This is what I was talking about last time out when I said I wish we had the benefits of the same sort of road blending system that we do on that PC users get. It would make this so much easier to do. And I'm just going to very quickly try and connect those bits of road up there just so I can keep this bit here. I want to get rid of that. There we go, get a nice smooth curve. I can take that piece out now. I'm going to have to rejoin that, if it'll let me. I don't know if it's going to let me do that now. No. Alright, let's try doing it the other way around. Let's try going off the roundabout this way. And see if it'll let me do that without distorting. Might minor, but we can get away with that. That works. Okay. That's slightly off center. It's not a square piece. That might prove slightly problematic. What if that's down to... Yeah, it's just the way I've planned it. There we go. Right, let's start upgrading roads. See how this looks. See, I've still got a kink in it, and that's what I'm trying to avoid, is those kinks. Because they just look awful. There we go. That's a smoother road, smoother line. I can take that piece out now. Let's go back to upgrading. Gonna need to do those bits as well. And the roundabout is going to need to be triple. There we go. So put the change of directions in that we need to now. So that and that and that. That's all good around there. That needs to change. That's all good. Alright, I think that should work a little bit better. And let's just finish cleaning up the zoning. So let's take that block out. Like that. That's already been dezoned, I think, that block. It has. And let's dezone that bit as well. Oh, no! Did not want to do that. Luckily it hasn't damaged. Alright, moment of truth time. See if that helps with traffic flow. Immediately, there's a lot less traffic heading out to that roundabout over there. I think that may be a big improvement to our traffic flow. It's getting very busy over here, look. Very busy indeed. Just take the stop sign off there. It looks worse than it is as well because of all those parked cars. So let's do away with those. That's not that one, is it? Oh, large avenue of grass. Not actually had a look at that one yet. Oh, that's just a single lane. And then a lane for parking. That's interesting. It's not what I want though. See, 4-lane with decorative grass. Again, we can't get rid of the parking unless we go with a 6-lane road like that. What's holding up all the traffic? I know about that one, that's fine. Although we could probably take that off as well, actually. It's the emergency services only in there, so that's fine. Okay, so for some reason... I see why. It's because there is no direct link over here. Our farm traffic needs to connect into this way, so... let's put in a little freeform one-way addition there, and hopefully the that roundabout keeps jamming up. Alright, okay. New idea. It was working as well. You can see the farm traffic was taking the diverted route. Let's try and bring that up to there. So it'll come in, it'll go out that way. Ooh. Upgrades, pause. Change that to two-way traffic. See, now we're getting some traffic shortcutting through there. That's weird. Yeah, this roundabout's gunking up a lot. And she's gunking up that one. This is not working the way I'd hoped it would. And these guys are now complaining of lack of customers, I think. Yeah, lack of customers. I just can't get the demand for more residential at the moment. And look at Scotter Square, still unfinished. Well, a new house just gone up there, or being upgraded over there, but... Trying to play about with the road types a little bit. So we can maybe get them to go in the right road or the right lane a bit better. This is a problem. Yeah. What we need to do is take that piece out and that piece out. We've got traffic using that little cut-through road there as a shortcut, which is not what I wanted. You know, no, just take this out. That's going to be better. Let's put the one-way back in over here. Because that worked until I started messing around with it. Let's leave that as is. I was just trying to avoid the farm traffic coming through the middle of this section here. But I don't think I can. I don't think I can avoid that. Might have to leave it as it is. Still getting a huge demand, look, for industry, which I think offices is the only way we can really fulfill that at the moment. I mean, we could add some more industry down here, I suppose. Let's add in another block of our lumber industry down in Rosewood Square. Just watching that demand drop, and I'm keeping an eye on my traffic as well. I want to make sure that things actually start flowing again. It might be we just have too many exits off this roundabout. Or, you know, too many exits too close together. I don't know. Hopefully it'll sort itself out. Finally, we're getting a little bit of demand for residential growth. Have we got a farmhouse built over here yet? Yes, we have. It's a bit of a weird farmhouse, but we have them. Let's try getting a different... Let's try getting... I could have left that one on the end. That actually looked about right for the area. Hopefully we'll get those back again. I wonder as well if I can do this with roads. No, I think I'd need to put a block on through that middle section. Maybe I can do it in the district. I've always found this to be hit and miss in the past. Let's see if it's actually improved. Just need to change the policies a little bit. That's not policy. There we go. Heavy traffic ban. Let's see if that actually kicks in and does anything. This seems to be a bit one of those policies that I've never really fully been able to understand how it works in this. Just going to trim the very edge off this district a little bit. There we go. Let's see if that actually has an effect. Will that divert the farm traffic around the edge? It looks as though it has done, actually. It has. Excellent. Okay, so the farm traffic's now been diverted. And that was actually going all the way out. Let's follow this farm traffic. Is he turning back towards the farm? He is. Excellent. So they're no longer shortcutting through here, which is what I wanted. It's been raining all day. It's just gone 6 in the evening, and an ice cream truck has just pulled up outside. It's the wrong kind of weather for an ice cream. Never mind. Right, what have we got? Houses over here. Actually, those actually fit in reasonably well. I think we'll like those. So we still... What did we zone in here? Did we zone in anything? No, we didn't. Okay. So we could zone in a little bit of high res over here. Around the back of that park. Like that. See if anyone moves in there. That'll help to hopefully build up this area again. Still not sure if I want to leave this single lane road going in like this, or whether I want to upgrade it. Traffic seems to be flowing okay. I could, I suppose, if I mess with the junction there, I'd need to mess with it on all sides, and I don't really want to do that. We'll leave it as is for now. The roundabout's gunking up again from the sheer volume of traffic here, but a 3-lane roundabout isn't going to help. I wonder, actually, if I could put in a little... If I take these bits of pathway out for a moment. Trying to feed this across. That would need to go like that. I wonder. Create this little sort of side passing loop a little bit, perhaps. Oh. Change direction. I wonder. Will that ease some of that roundabout traffic a little bit? It looks like it is. And also, it's giving this traffic a way to get in and get through and around this way without needing to go. That really might help quite a lot. Having that little bypass loop and that little connection into the industry just there. That may help sort things out quite a bit. Everywhere else seems to be running okay. We've got a little bit of a shortage of workers over here. Scotter Square now looks so much nicer, doesn't it? Now that it's actually fully grown. Lots of people in there. Although, again, we've got that issue of people parking on that main road. This roundabout seems to be a lot smoother now. So much less traffic going on there with that little connection there. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll come back and check on that later and see if it's working. And look at our demand for residential suddenly starting to shoot up. Let's take advantage of that. Let's expand these blocks here. And I think I'll put some more offices in just there. Yeah, that looks better. Space for a little bit of extra on the end there. Everything seems to be moving pretty smoothly, which is good. I think we're on a winner with that little tweak just there. It seems to have made all the difference. Although there's that worker shortage again. Oops. Well, that business would have failed sooner or later anyway, by the look of it. So we just made it sooner. We are going to need to start zoning in this block over here soon. Did we finish putting all the water in? Yes, we did. I'm going to build an extra connection down here. Just so the water connects in more than one place. Take that little piece out there. And what I do plan to do is, at some point, is to relocate this bus terminal so that we can actually have this road coming up and then connecting into this side of the roundabout. So again, we've got another way through for our traffic. I need to figure out exactly where that's going to go, though, before I rip it up. Because that's, awkward to move and it affects every single bus route. And I need to figure out exactly where I want it to go before I do that. I might just get rid of it entirely and take rid of all the buses and then put the connection in and then rebuild everything afterwards. I don't know yet. We'll think about that. But that road is essentially going to come off the roundabout here, and then I want it to link up here as well. And maybe, possibly, have a small connection just here. It's probably just going to be a crossroads rather than a roundabout though. And like I say, I want that to feed in nicely along that section there. And then we will, at some point, come up onto this raised area and build up here as well. But I want to get this area zoned in first. So, now that we kind of have that there, we need to kind of get the access in. Let's take these out. Let's start zoning in this area over here. So this is all going to be low density over here. Let's start zoning this in. I've got no power over here as well either. And that's something I'm going to need to distribute over this way. There we go. And we're going to get little bits of commercial sort of in certain areas popping up. Actually, I'll do those on the other side of the road. Right, little rows of shops dotted around inside the housing area. So we're not going to have huge, great big blocks of shops. We're not going to have huge, great big blocks of industry and so on and so forth. Ooh, power shortage. Yeah, definite power shortage. Okay, what have we got power option wise? More wave plants, I think, is going to be the best way to go. Drop in an extra 4 of these. There we go. That'll generate a nice extra amount of electricity. Let's continue zoning in over here. We need to drop in services as well. We'll come to those in a moment. I think somewhere around here is going to be a good area for us to have a little hub. So let's put in a few commercial buildings around here. And let's put in a small local police service. And a local fire service. We'll keep things nice and simple over here to start with. Same again for healthcare. Again, we have no power at the moment, but that'll pop in a moment. As soon as we start to zone in that way. There we go. What industry specializations can I go with? So everything there is going to pollute apart from lumber. So I could do some forestry, warehouses in a small part. Just here and there. We're okay for now though, we don't need to worry about that just yet. Let's start dropping in some educational services as well. So we want some basic primary schools. Just looking to see where my coverage is going to be. Yeah, I think that's a good place for that one there. I'm going to want another one probably somewhere over here. That'll do. And we're going to want a high school. I've deliberately left some large gaps as well for larger placeables, things that might be a bit more useful. Let's put that there. There we go. And now you can see that's all connected up beautifully. Zone on the other side of the road as well. Start dropping in a few office buildings. Try and create a real kind of town centre kind of feel. That organic mix of commercial and office kind of dotted around. Just paint all of that residential, I think. We can always come in and tweak, take out certain bits and add in other bits. If we paint all of that, that's too much. Let's take some of that out because we've got to let people actually spawn in. And I don't want anything spawning on the roundabouts. There we go. So that's a big old block there, and we can get a few little bits of commercial popping in. So let's drop some commercial there. There we go. No power over there yet. Let's turn that school off. Yeah, I think that could do quite nicely. What have we got over here? A real shortage of workers over here. Again, another reason why I'm trying to build this low density over here is a chance to feed more workers into our industries over here. So I think what we'll do is we'll kind of let this area continue to sort of grow and let these buildings to fill up, start filling up, and then once they're done, we'll be able to start zoning this a little better and creating some districts and putting some policies in and maybe getting some transport links up as well. So until then, I will just sit here and let this start to zone in a bit, and when we come back, we'll really attack this block in a bit more detail. Don't forget to get your requests in as well for street names or residential zones or industry areas or whatever you want to be put into this. I am building a nice little list of requests, and I am dropping a couple in with every single episode, so there's going to come a point where I'm going to run out. So let's try and keep it going, try and do 2 an episode, and I'm going to need more requests from you guys. So if you are interested in having a random citizen walking around with your name, or you want your name on a street, or you want a particular residential type of zone or a commercial zone or industry, do let me know in the comments, and we'll see what we can do to make that happen. As you can see, we have already done it over here with Scotter Square. We've done it with Nicholson Farm. I've got Quintanilla Boulevard over here. I've got Binney Street. I will be adding these in as we go through, so please do get those requests out to me, and I will try and work you into the city wherever I can. As for me, I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with another episode of City Skylines Mass Transit very soon.